Howdy, howdy, howdy. Today is Saturday and it's a late night lift day. As in the title, it's back in Biceps, which is a great day. And I got my Rice Krispies for a quick carb snack, right? Because I've been eating carbs throughout the day, but the more the merrier for carbs, right? Because the better your pump is, the more energy you have, right? Especially if you're a guy or a woman or whatever who doesn't like to drink energy drinks. Well, the more carbs you have, the more energy you have. So it'll be better for your workouts, because I drank pre-workout energy drinks. I had a Monster before this. And, you know, let's say there's one night where I need to get a lift in because I'd say I've already taken 2 rest days. And like I've said in the past, 3 rest days is my max. Well, I don't want to take another rest day because I just feel like that's, no, I don't want to do that, right? So what I could do is, okay, well, it's already 9 p.m., 10 o'clock on a Tuesday, not Tuesday, I guess it would be, let's say like a Friday, and I really needed to get it in. Well, what I could do is just eat 8. I mean, I could do non-stim pre, which is no caffeine pre, and carbs, or let's say I didn't have any available, right? Let's just say I ran out or something, because personally, I don't really take, non-stim pre or pre-workout. I just drink energy drinks or pre-workout cans. But let's say I didn't have any non-stim pre-workout. Crap, I don't have any type of thing to take. Well, no need to, go crazy over that. Just eat as much carbs as I can. Eat about 3 of these little things, and then a bunch more oatmeal and everything else. So, no need to worry. But what I wanted to talk about was mainly is back training. And I get some questions about how to hit certain parts of my back by people I see in the gym and stuff, or whatever not. And when you're doing like rows of some sort for your mid back, a lot of the training that you're doing, you're hitting your rear delt, right? So honestly, let's say you're training your mid back, you're doing a chest supported row, right? Well, you may be thinking, oh man, I only have run really, one thing, and I have, like at Planet Fitness, they have a chest supported row. They have one for the lats, and then one kind of for your mid back with the D handles, which is my favorite, but it doesn't really have enough weight. But you guys say, man, how do I hit my mid back on this? Well, a lot of the thing is like, you just row with your arms kind of out, and that's true. That's true. But what needs to happen is you need to really engage your back. And what a lot of that is, which I explain this in every, lifting on my back days, on my, when I'm doing the workout and you guys get the audio, it's really contracting your shoulder blades back. It's not just this motion, because this is a lot of your arms, right? When you're going back all the way like that, a lot of it's your biceps that you're using, and in your forearms, right? And a lot of guys, they don't really tell people, is you need to really squeeze and retract those shoulder blades back, and that's how you're going to hit your lower traps and whatnot, right? Because the whole movement, yeah, especially when you go and do that row movement, when you're on like that back portion, right, instead of that first kind of motion when you're retracting your shoulder blades, a lot of it is a lot of just rear delts. I mean, in the Jeff Nibbard video, that's mainly what you're training is your rear delts and your biceps when you're doing that motion. But when you're right here, that's all mid back, that's all upper, that's all traps, whatever not. And I think a lot of guys, I don't think a lot of guys need to work on their traps a whole lot, because a lot of guys, their traps grow pretty well. But mine, if I do like this type of flex, like the most muscular, see, my traps here have always been great, but the traps back there, they're not lacking now by any means necessary, no. But back in the day, they used to be very lacking. Like when I would do a like a rear double bicep, my lats, everything looked great, but that thickness part in the back right there, non-existent. Because a lot of things I would do was lat bias training, like lat bias rows, or anything else really. So, remember this and kind of going up here, all traps. This right here going like this, more lats, rear delts, traps engaged. Right here, more mid-back lat. Right here, all lat. Some traps or whatever. But when you're like this on a neutral grip and you're trying to squeeze your arm into your shoulder, your side, that's like 95% lat, right? And on the way back, you kind of go like this a little bit. Well, that's more traps. So, just understand what you're doing in the gym, right? I know for a lot of guys who start out, one thing is just they don't know what to do in general, right? So what I recommend for all the new guys watching my videos or something, for one, go on like a YouTube workout, be like, okay, I need a chest workout. And then the Jeff Nipper video will probably pop up, show you the top 10 tier list of those workouts. Okay, copy those. Or a video that will pop up saying chest flies 2x10 and then dumbbell bench press 3x5 or something, whatever. Copy that. And then if you're like, well, how do you do this exercise? Look up a video how to do it. That's the most simple way I can tell you, because I can tell you everything you need. No, but my whole thing is I like to kind of give people a basic understanding of what I'm talking about. I don't like to go to the whole, whole depths of it. That's like kind of Jeff Nippard thing, and I'm soon going to be there, right? I'm just not knowledgeable enough to know all the anatomy and everything. Like, I'm not going to tell you the skeletal bones that are being used on the exact thing, right? But I can tell you what muscles are working and what you're going to want to hit and all that, so. But we're going to get into this gym. We're going to hit a great back and bicep day and a little rear delts. I don't know if I'm going to record those or not, but I'll see you guys in there.
All right, so first we have some barbell split machine rows. Make sure you're training moderately heavy with these, enough to where your form isn't bad, and keep a kind of upright, but make sure you're not too upright, because then you're not really hitting that bent over part of the row. I trained around these 7 reps, did 2 sets today. Now we just have some run-on mat pull-downs. Make sure you're training pretty light with these, enough just to make sure you're not doing too many reps. I trained around the 6 to 12 rep range and do 2 sets. The whole point of this exercise is to keep your elbow your side as close as possible, and go slow in the way that you get a deep stretch at the top. Now we're hitting our upper traps, so make sure you get those balance on top of your back. Train heavy with these, explode with these, and you don't really have to control the weight too much for these. Just make sure you're not going absolutely ridiculous. But like I said, train heavy. I did 12 reps. I did 2 sets today. Now this is another lat movement right here. We're just going to keep our elbows to the sides as much as we can, and go slow on the way back. exploding the way up, and then make sure you're training around the 2 to 3 set range. I trained 2 sets of these today, and I did 9 reps, I'm pretty sure, on both legs. Now we have some hammer curls, which train the brachialis and biceps. And we're going to be training moderately pretty heavy for these. Control the weight on the way down and control it all the way up. And we're going to be training around the 6 to 10 reps. Pretty sure I did 8 or 10 reps this set. And I trained 2 sets of these today as well. And for the last thing today, we just did some preacher curls. I did 4 sets of these today, just for the finishers on my biceps. The last set was like a pump set, so it was like 15 reps of like 85 pounds only. But on this first set, just make sure you control the set, and yeah, explode on the way up, go slow on the way down. And I did 7 reps this set, and I trained around the 7 to 10 rep set.
Hello. Usually I would have my camera set up and I'm not even driving it, and you guys see the start of the drive, but I'm driving now because I have some errands to run and I have to pick up some people for some stuff and whatnot, so I gotta do all this stuff. But it'll only take me like 25-30 minutes before I get my meal in, so I don't mind it. But good lift today. I had to hurry up. I didn't really have to hurry. I did have to hurry. I mean, kinda, because the stuff that I need to do isn't necessary, right? It's not even for me. I just have to pick up other people. But I told them I'm the ride, right? I'm gonna be there when I'm gonna be there, right? You know. So, on terms of the lift today, gotta say, out of 10, I yapped a little bit in the gym. I'm not gonna lie, some people in there I know and shit, and we had some good conversations and stuff. So, you know, talked for like 10 minutes at one point. Lost my back pump, kind of sucked, but it was a good talk. I'm really happy about my bent over rows. I did 2 sets and I got 7 reps, I think, on each set for, you know, bent over rows on 225. I'll take that, man. I'm happy about that. I'm proud. But look at his hair. Whoa. Cool. But I stink. I need a shower. I need to eat also. But safe to say that it was a good lift overall. Strong on my back, decent on my arms, where I had to go down a little bit in weight. Just because, like, when I'm on a work area circumstance, I'm not slow or lazy by any means necessary, but because I was doing stuff in all way, I was traveling, you know, 40 minutes up to this other place and back 40 minutes, and, you know, I did stuff up there and stuff and all that kind of good stuff. But I'm saying stuff a lot. I need to stop saying stuff. But yeah, so I was doing things. I'm not gonna say stuff again. I was doing things to them, and so, you know, I still got my carbs in. I got about 300 in, I think, before. So I still gotta eat a lot of food when we get back. But, you know, I gotta go now. I'm getting a call, so I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.